Hey everybody, welcome to Shifty's Club. Yesterday, we talked about Swampert inside of Slurpuff Seismitoad. Well, why not just talk about the rest of the deck? So, that's what I'm going to do. But we're going to talk with it as it teched a Swampert. I believe that after the Alabama State Championships, everybody is wanting to tech Swampert into their Slurpuff Seismitoad deck. When my buddy Nate Brower ended up taking it to the Alabama State Championships and winning it, that's probably when it got the most effect, even though he credits Cody Lovingood for the original idea. Now, Cody's a great player in his own regard. Don't get me wrong. He is a really good player, and he developed very fast. He got a real good hold of the game, started doing really well, and kudos to him. I just hope he doesn't get up in the game like I did and then fall flat. That's where I'm at right now. um, but anyway, we're going to be talking about this particular day. Now, I'm not going to give no deck lists out or anything, but let's look at a kind of sort of deck. I got a feel for this deck once I started testing it and I started looking at the ins and outs. The deck was very solid. I didn't like a lot of the consistency efforts, but once you get a real hang of the deck and learn how to play it correctly, it becomes a nightmare for your opponents to try to stop it. So we're going to be working with SlurToad deck. And obviously it includes Seismitoad-EX with Slurpuff. Now, I'm not a fan of running a 2-3 line where you have 2 Slurpuff and 3 Swirlix, but if it wins, it wins. And that's really what caught me, was I thought that's a Garbodor line. And Nate Brower ended up winning with that. I thought, oh my gosh, there is no way he did that. He is like a genius. Not to compare to natural IQ. I'm talking about Pokemon IQ. This kid's got like what, a 700-800 Pokemon IQ. He's like absolutely genius. But anyway, the 2-3 Swirlix is pretty good. And instead of 1, which I run, 2 Swampert. Wow. 2 Swampert. That is absolutely amazing to be able to run 2 Swampert and have it work. Then you have Jirachi-EX, which everybody knows why it's there, and Execute. Now, Execute, I didn't understand why it was there from the start, but when you look very closely at some of the cards, like Ultra Ball, and you have Professor Sycamore, sometimes when you get rid of cards and you draw into newer cards, things like Ultra Ball put you at an advantage or disadvantage. And if you have the incorrect hand count and are forced to discard Archies, well, Execute can help in that. And I'm assuming he ran into that a lot in practice. Anyway, obviously 4 double colorless energies in everybody's deck. Some people decide to put in basic energy, some don't. He didn't, and it works for him. And it probably is the best bet in the game. Seeing how you can't run Crushing Hammer and Enhanced Hammer against Seismitoad. Well, if you don't break the train lock. Then, for your supporter line. That's good stuff. Now you've got a really vast array of supporters, which I think is pretty cool. I think this is a pretty cool amount. This is in RTCs in the Hole, Lysander's trump card, Team Flaregrant, Cassius, Professor Sycamore, and Srosik. Now, I think that these cards are very reliable. They seem to do very well on occasion. I've only ran in a couple scenarios where one card wasn't helpful, but at one point, every one of these cards had a purpose. And running one counts absolutely ensured that Swampert could pull out the card you needed and Slurpuff could draw into it, which I love. Um, Obviously, if you want to know exactly what all these cards do, I mean, that's what the TCG database is for. Just go to Google, type in TCG card database, and boom, pops up the Pokemon database. Um, but anyway, I like the one counts of everything except for Sycamore, which is 4, and Swazik, which is 2. I like that. I think that's pretty cool. Um, then you've got a very cool flowing amount. Then you've got your Super Scoop Up Cyclone, which I thought was a amazing idea. I mean, I definitely use Scoop Up Cyclone um, and Seismitoad when you're running with Swirlix. Or not Slurpuff. Oh my god. Anyway, and I love Scoop Up Cyclone because you can basically prevent a knockout, which is awesome. Um, Town Map. Now, this is a card that I thought only myself and a couple other people would ever use. Now, Town Map is absolutely critical to success of a lot of decks. And if they can draw into their cards fast enough, get the Town Map down, flip your prizes over, now you know what you're drawing, so whenever you need a card, go for it. That's just the way I see it. And it's a lot better than trying to take 5 minutes to figure out every card that's prized. Then you have Burbank City Gym and Floatstone. Floatstone's obviously a very dire card for Slurpuff because if a Seismitoad's ever knocked out, then you can put it in the active slot and draw 2 cards instead of 1, um, which is absolutely amazing. When it's if anything is Lysandered up to be stalled out, that's the point where they're scared of the trainer luck and you have to be able to respond, so Floatstone works perfectly. Burbank City Gym obviously works with Hypnotoxic Laser, which I'll get to later. So it's a really good combo, and it's always found in Seismitoad decks because Seismitoad can't hit for crap damage. Then you have Muscle Band to go on Floatstone, of course, Muscle Bands for Seismitoad-EX. Battle Compressor, Crushing Hammer. Again, Battle Compressor is one of those cards that people are very particular about. Now, when you're running something like Archie's Ace in the Hole, you've nearly got to run Battle Compressor because being able to discard those 2 Swampert in the execute early is what it's about. Because you'll never want to draw into them because you never use them. So that Battle Compressor ends up putting the 2 Swampert and Execute into the discard pile for excess later. Then you have Ultra Ball and Hypnotoxic Laser. They're absolutely critical to the deck. Obviously, Ultra Ball searches out any one Pokemon. It discards 2 cards, which can narrow your hand down for cards like Archie's Ace in the Hole. Obviously, cards like Dive Ball and even in extended format Level Ball would help a lot for some like regionals. But Ultra Ball is probably the favorite in a lot of decks because it gets some of those cards, maybe even a couple supporters that you don't need right now. It gets them out of your hand into the discard pile and is very good for future VSC or access. Then you've got a couple other cards that are, I don't know why the list is like this. Let's see. Then you got another 4 counts here. Obviously, Professor Sycamore is very big. I think I already said it though. Sarsic already said. Via Seeger and Arcobike. Now, these are probably your keys to success here. And Acrobite is very good being able to get that Swampert card, have not been able to pick up Slurpuff the time you do need it. If you already use Slurpuff to get a card you need in order to get Archie's Ace in the Hole going with Swampert, and then you're able to use Swampert, and you have an Acrobike in your hand, well, there you go. You already drew 5 cards, so Acrobike, boom. After you get it down, boom. And I mean, I understand Acrobike. It's very consistent. Starts to speed up the game. Via Seeker, everybody runs 4 of for a really good reason. So that's it. That's SlurToad. I don't know if that's what it's called, but that's what I call it. SlurToad. But anyway, I figured I'd talk about that. Anyway, guys, if you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. Post any comments you have in the comment section down below. And as always, hope you guys have as much fun as I've had, and I'll see you guys next time at Shifty's Club.